Burnaby's neighborhoods are changing, especially in our 4 town centers. For decades, city plans called for more housing options in communities where people could meet most of their needs within a reasonable walking distance. Many existing rental buildings in the town centers are older and will need to be replaced in the coming years. To protect Burnaby residents who live in older rental buildings slated for redevelopment, City Council recently approved an updated tenant assistance policy. Under the new policy, tenants facing eviction due to major renovation or redevelopment that requires rezoning will be provided with the means to rent a home at their current rent during construction and the ability to move into the new building when it is complete. The new policy goes hand in hand with the rental use zoning policy that requires replacement of existing rental units with rental housing units at affordable rents.
Tenant policy came from the Mayor's Task Force on Community Housing. We are looking forward to implementing this policy. It is what the tenants group on the task force asked for, and it was agreed to by the task force.
Recommended by the Mayor's Task Force on Community Housing and supported by Council, the Tenant Assistance Policy protects people and ensures people can stay in their communities even as the city changes. Every tenant who has moved out of their existing apartment has the right to accept a new unit in the new development at a similar rent as their old unit. Tenants will also receive a rent top-up if the rent they pay while waiting for the new building to open is more than they paid before. For example, if the tenant pays $850 for their existing unit and moves into a place that costs $1,300 until the new building is finished, they will receive a rent top-up for the difference. The top-up for tenants who find their own housing is capped at the difference between the tenant's current rent plus 15%, or at 30% above the median rent paid for a similar unit in the same neighborhood as determined by the Federal Housing Agency, Canada Mortgage, and Housing Corporation, whichever is greater. Tenants who decide they want to move into a unit in the new building will have a home for life at basically the same rent they were paying before. Burnaby will make sure below market rental units are protected even if tenants decide they want to move away. Under the rental replacement policy, new buildings will include the same number of below market rental units as were torn down. If returning tenants decide to move away, the rents for those units will become available to other Burnaby renters at 80% of the median rents for similar units in Burnaby, as determined by CMHC.
I know this is a very stressful time for tenants. Council will do our very best to make sure they are taken care of in the best possible way. Burnaby continues to thrive, and Council wants to make sure that people are treated fairly. We are committed to making this policy work so that our community continues to welcome people and protect those who are already here.